Kimora Lee Simmons has always been that girl when it comes to luxury, business, and knowing how to secure a bag. From modeling for Chanel as a teenager to building Baby Phat into a billion-dollar brand, she has consistently moved like someone who understands money, power, and positioning. However, while Kimora is known for living life in the fab lane, she's also becoming known for something a little less glamorous. We're talking about lawsuits, financial disputes, and some very questionable situations involving the men in her life. Every time we think things can't get any more complicated, another layer gets added to the messiness. So now the question is no longer whether Kimora has money, but what exactly is going on with it? And why does it always seem to get tied up in some drama? Before we dive deep into other people's bank accounts, don't forget to scoop up something to munch on at rrgsnacks.com, our online concession stand that has an assortment of Applewood smoked bacon jerky, freeze-dried goodies, and butter toffee peanuts. At one point, Kimora's net worth was estimated at around $200 million, and according to Afrotech, that figure includes the checks she collected as a teenager during her early modeling career. From there, she married a much older man, Def Jam co-founder Russell Simmons.
Sprinkle, sprinkle.
After welcoming 2 children, they split in 2009. But even after their divorce, Kimora didn't slow down, pivoting into reality television with shows like Kimora Life in the Fab Lane, expanding her beauty ventures, and partnering with major companies like Macy's and Sephora. However, as the saying goes, mo money, mo problems. After her divorce, Kimora had a child with Jaimin Hansu. They participated in a traditional commitment ceremony in 2008 in West Africa. In 2012, the New York Daily News ran a story quoting an unnamed source who said the couple's marriage was on the rocks and that money was a factor in their rumored split. The insider said, "Kimora lives as if she's the Queen of England."
So what?
The paper later published another report in which author Kola Booth claimed to have had an affair with Jaimin, and she was the reason behind the couple's breakup. Jaimin adamantly denied the accusations. He said, "To that extent, any and all claims are totally fabricated, and for the press to be spreading these lies is irresponsible on their part. I am a man of integrity and would never betray my wife or my family."
Word on the street is you ain't seen that boy since he was a baby. And ain't he about 20 years old now? Maybe 18, maybe 16. He up there. He a teenager. I'm just saying what the streets say, that's all. Ain't none of the baby daddies around. Oh, we ain't made it that far. All right, well, let me just sit over here with my margarita and mind my business. I'm listening. Come on.
Kimora also felt the need to address the money accusations by tweeting, "Wow, I put one of several properties I own, plus don't live in, on the market, and now apparently my whole life is falling apart? Shaking my damn head. Rumors. As it turned out, the breakup rumors were true, and they announced their separation in November 2012. In addition to financial disagreements, an insider said Jaimin was upset because he was stuck watching their children while Kimora was busy spending time with her ex-husband, Russell.
Now say what now?
From there, she moved on with investment banker Tim Lesner. According to People magazine, they married in 2014, with Russell himself publicly announcing the nuptials and even saying Tim had been around the family for a while. Now, let's pause right there, because when the ex-husband is co-signing the new husband, it either means everybody is mature or something is about to go very left. And unfortunately for Kimora, it ended up being the second option. By 2021, Russell was no longer playing nice and had filed a lawsuit against both Kimora and Tim, accusing them of conspiring to fraudulently transfer his nearly $4 million shares of Celsius stock.
First of all, that's my favorite energy drink. Nobody asked me, but I really like it. Y'all should try it.
According to court documents, Russell claimed he formed a company called New Horizons in 2011, of which he was the sole member. Later, Kimora and Tim joined, which is how they allegedly gained access to the shares. The real issue, according to Russell, was that those shares were used to cover Tim's legal problems stemming from his involvement in a massive money laundering scandal tied to Malaysia's 1MDB fund. And this is where it starts getting wild, because Tim pleaded guilty in 2018 to conspiracy charges related to one of the largest financial scandals ever, involving billions of dollars that were supposed to benefit the Malaysian people but were instead misused. The SEC barred him from working in the industry. He forfeited $43.7 million. Russell alleged that because Tim needed tens of millions to stay out of jail and cover his legal obligations, Kimora and Tim took his shares without authorization, which he described as blatant fraud.
That's what it sounds like to me.
To resolve the issue, Russell wanted Kimora and Tim to pay punitive damages and his legal fees and return all the Celsius shares. But that wasn't happening. Kimora wasn't about to just sit there and accept that narrative, and according to In Touch, she came back with her own version of events, claiming that Russell had already left New Horizons by the time the shares were used, meaning he no longer had any ownership in the stocks. From her perspective, there was nothing to return because, in her mind, those shares were no longer his to begin with.
Well, all right then. Well, that explains it. That explains it, right?
Tim, of course, also denied any wrongdoing.
He lying. All he do is lie. We don't want to hear about Tim. We don't want to hear from Tim. He a ex. We don't want to hear from Tim's ass.
Since neither side was backing down, the case headed toward trial. As of this video, the situation is still very much unresolved and very messy. In January 2020, it was announced that Kimora had adopted a 10-year-old boy named Gary. Tim wasn't featured in the family photo, nor was he named as the child's adoptive parent.
Kimora said, "Don't worry about it, I got it."
That same month, Us Weekly website reported Tim was spotted getting cozy with another woman. By January 2021, Kimora and Tim were severing ties. Well, as it pertained to their real estate investments at least. They sold their $25 million Beverly Park mansion for $15.7 million. They also sold a Manhattan apartment purchased for $19 million in 2014, resulting in a $750,000 loss.
So they just flushing money down the toilet at this point. That's what you're saying, just flushing it away. Law.
Just when you think this situation couldn't get any crazier, it somehow does. Because in 2022, during Tim's testimony in court, he revealed something nuttier than Big Mama's pecan pie. According to the New York Post, Tim admitted that his marriage to Kimora wasn't even legally valid because he was still married to his first wife, Judy Chan. He also admitted he photoshopped divorce documents in order to marry Kimora. To make things even messier, when Judy found out about the marriage, she refused to help Tim financially because he had the audacity to ask her for money to secure a home for him and Kimora.
Girl, you couldn't even get through that without laughing, could you? He is loony. Let me go ask my current wife for money to get a house for my new wife that I ain't even supposed to have. Where they do that at? He messy. He the confetti.
Even though Kimora and Tim were reportedly estranged by 2022, the legal drama continued, as Kimora was accused of helping Tim hide up to $80 million linked to the 1MDB scandal. According to those claims, Kimora was listed as the owner of shell companies that were allegedly used to move money, and there were even accusations that she and Tim traveled internationally to set up financial structures to protect those assets. Kimora's legal team denied all of this, stating she had no involvement in Tim's illegal activity and that she was relying on marital privilege laws to block certain communications from being used. Now, here is where things get awkward, because if the marriage wasn't even legally valid, that whole marital privilege argument starts looking a little shaky.
You're damn right it looks shaky. Oh, I'm worried for Kimora. Oh, Lord.
In 2025, Tim was sentenced to 2 years in federal prison for his role in the money laundering scheme, admitting that his own greed led to his downfall. At the same time, Russell decided to air things out publicly, claiming he had been financially supporting Kimora for years and that their relationship only fell apart after he sued her. He even went so far as to say he had been giving her $50,000 a month for 2 decades. In 2026, things escalated further when reports surfaced that Kimora had been living in their $25 million Beverly Park mansion for the past 5 years without paying rent or mortgage.
What a broke ass.
The property itself was purchased with the funds Tim stole, and the country of Malaysia even had the right to claim it as part of recovering the money he took.
Not the whole damn country saying, run me my money, Tim. Not your landlord is a whole country, and you late on rent.
Now, remember when he stated Kimora and Tim had sold the property at a loss? Well, Kimora said Tim sold the property fraudulently in 2020 and without a real estate agent's authority. She also claimed her signature was forged on the paperwork. As part of the deal, Kimora and Tim entered a lease and were supposed to pay $65,000 a month to live on the property, but the last payment was made in November 2020. Since then, Kimora has been living rent-free in the mansion.
Kimora the high-end squatter. What the hell?
And just when you think the money story might have a positive ending, Kimora revealed that she didn't even get what she should have from one of her biggest successes. According to Women's Wear Daily, at its height, Baby Phat made revenues of more than $1 billion. In 2004, Baby Phat and its parent company, Phat Fashions, were sold for $140 million, according to the New York Times. In an April 2026 podcast episode, Kimora admitted,
fast forwarding through everything, right? I think we built that company up and probably sold it for $100 and something million. I probably got 20 million of that or less.
What did you miss going back in that time?
I missed all of the preliminary conversations.
None of this is making any sense. Now, she sound dumb as hell.
She relaunched Baby Phat in 2023, but it's not nearly as popular as it was during its heyday. At this point, Kimora's story is no longer just about success or luxury, because beneath all the designer labels and business moves lies a pattern of financial entanglements, complicated relationships, and situations that raise more questions than answers. While she has always presented herself as someone who knows how to navigate power and business, the reality is that many of these situations suggest a misplaced level of trust in the wrong people at the wrong time, leading to consequences that continue to unfold publicly. And while she may still be living fabulously on the surface, the real question is whether the foundation underneath all of it is as solid as it once appeared.
Solid as a rock. That's all I had to say.
If you enjoyed this video, let us know down below. And thanks for watching RRG.
Because, baby, I had a Baby Phat purse, a bag that was bad as hell. That thing was bad. It had some faux fur on it and embossed leather and a big insignia. It was gorgeous.